Hey folks, I'm Dragonic Arcade and welcome back to KSB. Today we're gonna go and go up to the Arctic because I think it's a really cool thing that I want to do. We'll also bring science stuff up to the Arctic because it sounds like a really cool thing that I should do. This thing is always going to be a little bit goofy. But I am going to put 4 of these on it because, well, this doesn't actually have a Science Junior. It still has other science things, and at least surface sample and mystery goo take more than one use. The cargo's still all set up. That's cool. Oh, I bugged it a little bit. That's fun. Just because it makes it easier. I'm gonna keep the parachute on Valentina in case I somehow get myself ejected from reality. Cool. Now let's go. I'm having thoughts. And they're pretty fun, but that's a future idea, I think. Right, this thing's a bit weird. So this is probably a longer flight. But it is a very interesting one. Or one, at least one I've never done. So I think it's interesting. Not me just trying very hard to get myself into the right spot without getting too much altitude. Because the more altitude I get, the sooner I have to redo shit. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. And there we go, more or less. At least until we get closer, it's a good enough angle. We're doing okay still. You know, I remember a long fucking time ago when I first kind of was watching and getting into KSP. I remember one of the first things I really watched was someone just trying to get to the Arctic with a plane. And it was honestly, like, genuinely impressive, too. This game has changed a hell of a lot since then, because I don't even think my liner that I have here is going to struggle with it. Which is cool. It's really cool, actually. Like, he nearly ran out of fuel and everything. And he, like, very obviously overprepared, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Just a very interesting thought to me, really. Cool to think about how much this game has changed. We're kind of getting off target now. Except it's kind of floating in the correct direction, so I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to reset the altitude a little bit. There we go. But yeah, this game has changed a lot. It's always interesting to think about that a game you played a long time ago, right? Or you were interested in a long time ago. If it was, like, not... If it was in the era of updates, I want to say. It's the best words I have to explain what I'm thinking about. Like, if the games could have been updated, those games have probably changed by the time you'd play them today, and they've probably changed a lot. Just kind of cool to think about. Makes me feel kind of old, even if in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it was that long ago that this game was that different. But what it is it's very cool to think about. At least to me. If it's not something you like thinking about, if it makes you feel older than it makes me feel, that's also valid as hell. Because, like, I can see the vibes not being good on it. I'm trying to think of another game that I have that same feeling with. And it's like, it's not really coming to my brain. It's kind of interesting that it's not coming to my brain, because I'm sure there's plenty of games that I've played that are like that. That I like, I guess. Oh, that was nasty. I guess a game that could be an example of that is something like Stellaris, which I've never really played that much. I think I have a good number of hours in it, I think, but the game has changed a lot because the DLCs have like not only added stuff but changed stuff, like how everything has worked, and you can still experience that, which is the funny thing about Stellaris. And I've not played the other games by that company that I can't currently remember the name of, and I don't know if it's the same for those, but if you play with all DLCs and with no DLCs, you'll notice that not only are there other stuff and other things in the game, which you'd expect from DLCs, but also like the colony menu, stuff like that, have changed entirely. They're completely different. And like every time I play Stellaris, first of all, I never really play it for that long, because that kind of game, for some reason, can't really keep my interest unless it's Civ, which is because it's turn-based. I love turn-based games. I say, as I don't think I've played any turn-based games on the channel yet. We gotta change that, but hey, regardless. Yeah. Turn-based games, like, I might play Civ at some point, try to beat the game with, or beat I don't know. I'll do something with Civ at some point, maybe. Civ 5. I don't like Civ 6 very much at all. And that's just an opinion thing. It didn't jive with me. I understand there's obviously people who like it. I technically have it, I think, because I got it for free on Epic, but I played it with friends like once or twice, and it wasn't like I didn't have fun with it. I did, because I was playing with friends. That's kind of the point of playing with friends, to be fair. At least for me, I guess. Some people's friends just make them mad, and I guess to each their own. I guess my friends make me mad too, but I don't really expect or want that. But yeah, it's not like I didn't enjoy it. I just strongly prefer Civ 5. For reasons I can't even really articulate. I don't know why I prefer Civ 5. Other than some kind of nostalgia factor, which, considering I'm playing old games on this channel, may just be expected from me at this point. I tend to bend to the wheels of nostalgia quite often. Whims? Whims. And it's not like I don't play or enjoy newer games. I do. Commonly. Just not quite as commonly as older games, because... what's the phrase? If it's ain't broke, don't fix it, basically. If I like an older game, I'm not going to go to a newer game that is similar or the same just because it's newer. I'm going to play the one not only that I have, but also the one that I've enjoyed and have good memories with. Granted, I don't play too many games that get any new. 2-minute games. They get a new version every year. I play a couple, like, I think I mentioned it in an earlier video, Football Manager, which apparently in this one's shit, so, like, whatever. Granted, I played the 2020 version of that because it's the one, again, I got for free. But, yeah. I'm going to try to slow down a little bit. And quick save before I do this. But I'm trying to slow down a little bit. So I can do that. And of course, I'm not going to stay that high up. It's just the easiest way I know. To slow down so that Valentina doesn't go flying off into the ether. Can you, like, stay on target, please? Apparently not. Okay. Of course, I'll also quick save. I love that a lot of sounds seem to overwrite the engines. we get yoinked, and now it's time to just kind of wait till we're to the ground. It's not exactly flat, it's... It's very flat. I know it is extremely flat. That's all texture. That's cool. Why are we wobbling? Brakes. Stop that. Stop it. Cease. Stop the wobbles. Okay. So, before we start driving out to do things, we'll EVA Valentina. Grab an EVA report. Store it. Back to this. We'll transfer Bob over to the crew, or the thing where he can actually exit, excuse me. He can EVA out. Surface sample. Store. No one's in the driver's seat, so I can't actually. A surface sample. I can actually restore it from here too. Neat. Okay, so Valentina has to actually leave the ship. she can lay on the ground for a moment. We brain fart apparently. Transfer crew to there. Valentina in her nice blue outfit is going to then board, and we continue the actual mission. We shouldn't be too far away. I'll be honest, I can't save. Fair enough. I'm focusing because I don't want to, like, accidentally crash or anything. Not that there's much to crash into except my own stupidity, which admittedly is quite big. So, you know. driving to the last one in my really weirdly shaped car. With a lot of wheels. I do notice anytime I try to every time I focus in a game, I always do get quiet. But you know, isn't exactly a good thing most of the time when I'm recording. Alright, we hit the brakes. We set the brakes. Cool. Used literally about half our fuel total. What is it, 57? Yeah, 57. Yay! Climbs on top of the flag. That could actually be useful. That's a thing I need to remember about. Not too heavy. Okay. And now we need power. Which is Bill's job. Can I just say, I love actually having to get the entire crew out. It's kind of neat. Because they all have a reason for being here. Valentina has to fly the damn thing. And Bob and Bill are here to set up the science. Even though, because Bill's needed for the power setup. Technically not needed, but we need quite literally twice the number of goddamn power setups in order to do anything. Well, 3 times. This is technically overkill. Love that we have little animations. For checking on the things. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. I had to look at all the little animations before I get everybody back in. Because, like, that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. I did notice that there was a option to interact with them. Alright, I need to... There we go. That was actually somehow a more entertaining flight, even though I don't think, like, oh Jesus, nothing additional happened or anything. It was just a new place we were going to, which is always nice. We need to bring Valentina to orbit once to get her a star. Anyway, 8 grand, 8 grand, 8 grand, 53 grand. Easy fucking money. We have 693,000. Nice. And we actually have a bunch of reputation now. I didn't mean to click on the spaceplane hangar. And our little science outposts. The number of science outposts we have on Kerbal are just slowly increasing, which is always neat. Like if I can just right click to look at only flags. You can see the landings, city, lovely. Love when I misspell things. Really neat. I like it. It's cool. Ooh, green square. Let me look at the Mud Explorer. See what it's missing. Making a rover is really not that complex, especially when the goal of it is to move it, which it's doing on its own right now, even though it has brakes on. It's just sliding a bit. But I legitimately think this thing's cool as hell. The only thing this thing actually needs is a driver. Wait, no, it's missing a... That's funny. It has no power. Yeah, we'll leave. So... It has no power. That is the thing stopping it. So we'll bring over like a battery, like a battery pack and a solar panel to put onto it, and it'll be good. That's cool. Very cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been Draconic Arcade. I don't know what we're doing next time. I'll be honest with you. But we'll do something, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll try to actually do our main mission. Or maybe we'll save that a little bit longer because I'm having fun with all this experimentation. We are not rescuing someone from orbit, though. Probably. That's just a painful fucking mission. I don't know. There's a lot of money in that. Anyway, money is not really a fucking issue right now, obviously. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Draconic Arcade. I'll see you next time. Bye.